Like I said, I'm giving you all a chance to get in here. First one in, please let me know if I'm clear. Or do I need to lower this music? Now, as I wait you guys to get in here, of course, salam, shalom. By Salah speaking. The humble servant speaking. The sex, the sex symbol. That's what they call me. Peace and wisdom, Joshua Hall. Now you're never gonna be able to have sex with me, but it's good to dream. Just letting you know that I'm a sex symbol, not a prostitute. If you're like, you're not that cute though, I'm sick right now. Don't you worry. In my glory, like I said, I'm a sex symbol. Now, pardon my chest is flat. I just got over. Pardon that my chest is flat. I just got over COVID, so I have to rebuild myself back up. But, you know, COVID's no thing for legends. You feel me? I'm a legend. So, COVID's no big deal. Now I want to do this video explaining the I don't know, I get on y'all nerves. I hate this nigga. Can you just get to the video? No, I'm doing. This is for my sponsor. This is the sponsors part of the show. Relax yourself and be patient. Good things come. Good things come to those who wait. Now, like I said, I'm going to be explaining the Patrine. This is the cross of St. Peter. And I'm going to give you guys a great deal of scholarship with it. I'm going to be reading from the good old Holy Bible. But I'm going to give you guys some other references as well. Now let me teach you guys the most important lesson before I start. Because you're learning so you can be, you know, a great glory like me. So you have to work on your ego. Wait, let me do it right. This is everybody that follow me. They know this is the smirk of Lucia, but you gotta learn your sounds. That means like, you know, I'm better than you. I'm better than you, but you're on your way. Now when you hear the two, like, that means like that means like, you know, I'm not paying you any mind, whatever. So you have to learn your Usir, your Usir mannerisms. This is important. Now, subscribe to the channel if you. I got to bother them, big baby. You already know that, and I can't help it. Shouldn't be coming in here hating. Now, where was I at? Oh, subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumb. Visit the website upscaleknowledge.org. Check out the lecture magazines. They're really good. Like really, really. And at some point, purchase yourself one of the purchase plans. I have a pricing plan. I apologize. Purchase yourself one of my pricing plans. This is exclusive knowledge, content. Now, I want to explain why Peter was crucified upside down, on an upside down cross. Have I gotten on you? Have I gotten on you guys' nerves? Clicking here, hating. I do want to say this. This is important. I'm not about to joke. This is a bank card from Bank of America. A lot of you guys from Bank of America. I'm making sure I ain't no information. This is a bank card from Bank of America. I have like a personal account or so. Some of you guys may have this. Now this blue one, this is a business debit card. You say, wow, I like that. How do I get one of those? You have to have a business EIN number to open up a business bank account. Meaning you can't just go into the bank and say, I want to open up a business account. You have to show them your business paperwork. Of course, you have to have an EIN number. This is like a social security number for your business. Now, I'm saying all of this because at the beginning of this year, I told you guys, if any of y'all are struggling, well, I can hire you, pay you. I said, what did I say back then? I said I could pay you like $500 a week. Maybe it ain't much, but it's something. Now, I know most of y'all probably said, man, Solace ain't got no real business. He can't pay me. I'll pay you with checks. I can't pay you no other way. You get it? Through my business bank account, I get checks, everything. Like payroll. Meaning if you were to say, yeah, I want to work. I live up the block. I'm fucked up. I could have really hired you. You would be filing income tax this year. You would have been getting paychecks. My business name would have been on it. I was going to show y'all the other side of the business account because it has my business name on it. Upscale Knowledge, not my name. But you get it? It's other information on there. People strange in the daytime. But the point I'm making is, if you was one like that, when you think like, man, he ain't got no real business. Y'all got to y'all have to learn. Meaning if you stupid, then you're going to miss out on a lot of opportunities in life. You get my point? If you ain't got like a keen eye to know, like, cap from reality. And so I'm just saying that so some of y'all can grasp. The next time if I ever say, like, I'll hire some of y'all, now you know, like, oh yeah, you get it? The same way you get a payroll check from your job, it probably digital, but you get the same thing from me. And I just have to square all that off. You get it? When I pay my taxes and shit. You be helping me, like, write off some stuff. And so I may be hiring in the next year sometime. If you live in New York or wherever I'm at, you know you're struggling. It ain't about struggling, but you know, if you know you need a job or something, keep your goddamn eye. Y'all watch a lot of cap and y'all get scammed a lot, so y'all like scarred and shit. So a lot of y'all watch me and you be thinking like in that mindset. I'm grown. I don't do nothing illegal. And I don't do nothing that ain't the right way. Because I can't afford it. You get my point? That's why I always say I'm grown. I can't even afford to even play y'all little kid games. You get my point? I keep everything on the up and up. But, so whatever I say, it is what it is. Take advantage of it if you can. Like when I told y'all we could chip it and get land back in the day. That's not no scam. But I don't want to do that right now. Just like I'm not high on right now. But if I ever do for the future, now you know I got a real business. I'm not like the rest of the guys that come on here and just teach. I got a real business. I'm a real author. Everything's copywritten. You get my point? Everything's legit. I just do things how I want because I can. So, I don't know how to explain it, but hopefully y'all grasp that. Now, let's get to this deep content. And if any of y'all need like advice on getting a business account or something, I'd say stay away from getting the business if you don't understand business. Y'all kind of in them times where y'all desperate to get businesses, but you're not even good with your own personal business. Meaning if somebody give you $50,000, you're gonna go buy a car. You get my point? You're not gonna budget it out through the year and say, well, I got $50,000 income now. Put this shit weekly, budget it out through the year, make sure I got everything covered. You gotta have that kind of mind if you're going into business. You can't have the mind like, oh, I got $100,000 check. Go whenever you get it. That ain't how a business. You got to be smart and make sure you got your shit covered for the next year just in case. Why? Because if you get a lawsuit of any kind, if this fuck up any kind, what you gonna say? Shit, I bought that car. That. You gotta want business. The same way somebody want a lot of materials. Just little Jews. I'm sure there's people that got business longer than me, better than me. If they give you some Jews, take it. You know how y'all are. I don't want to listen to this person or that person. Man, you better get what you can get. And niggas that got big $1 million businesses, they ain't talking to y'all. So, you get my point? So, you have to talk to the $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year business owner. But you gotta start somewhere. Shit, talk to the $20,000 a fucking year business owner. That's still good money, man. Some people make $20,000 a year working. So that's like, I don't know. Y'all know what y'all want in life, so y'all have to figure it out. Now I'm gonna be reading from this book. It's a little dusty, like I said. I keep it where it belongs. The trash. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Let me get it together. Let's get serious. Keep this good old book right in the garbage. Keep it right near the trash. It gets dusty. It's where it belongs. Now let's start. We're not starting with this, but I just wanted to make sure I had it. Damn, I forgot to save the page. That was the point. Now, if you have any questions at any point in this video, because you're not clear on something, let me know. And if you want to give back, click the title of the video. Now, in Christian scholarship, of course, you have the Petrine cross. Some people call it St. Peter's cross. Now, this is the upside down cross that St. Peter was crucified on. I'm not sure, and I'm trying to think. I'm not sure if the Bible goes in depth on Peter being crucified upside down. But I think they do. Well, they mention whatever they do about Peter, but I think they do. If they haven't, if you're a Christian, maybe you've heard of that. Like Peter was crucified upside down. We're speaking of Simon Peter. one of Jesus's disciples. Now, if the Bible speaks on it or not, I forget, but the Apocrypha texts that have to do with Christianity or that have to do with the Bible, because the Bible is basically the latest edition of all these books. You know, the Acts of John, the Acts of Peter, all this Christian scholarship. Well, the Bible's the latest edition, so the Bible's borrowing from books that predate it. In that, when you're dealing with the Apocrypha text, they speak of Peter being crucified upside down. Now, I want to explain why that was. But first, I want to give you guys a little reference proof by the Bible. If you want, you could go to John 20, 30 through 31. John chapter 20, verse 30 through 31. Now, I'm about to read a proof to you, because you may say, like, the Apocrypha texts don't count. Well, I'm going to prove to you by your own book that the book say it didn't include all the text that was written, but just included what it chose. Now, in John chapter 20, verse 30, it says, And truly Jesus did many other signs in the presence of his disciples, which are not written in this book. Meaning, it's written in other books. Some of y'all may say, no, it may just be saying like whatever he did, everything wasn't written. But everything that was written is all that is, and from this book. No. It's saying, and truly Jesus did many other signs in the presence of his disciples. They're documenting everything, which are not written in this book. But these are written that you may believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that believing you may have a life in his name. So they basically saying, we ain't put all the old writings concerning this in this book. We just put what is needed so you believe. If we got to put everything that was written, you wouldn't be able to read through it. You'll die before you finish. But if all of that needs to be done, you ain't gonna believe anyway. You get my point? Thank you, Ian. Now, that's just proof for any of you guys that have that kind of mind. When you say, man, them other books, if it ain't the Bible, I don't hear it. The Bible says that it's not the official book, but a lot of those books y'all have is fake, is basically saying that. All those apocrypha texts and all the texts concerning this man Jesus and his disciples and all the things that transpired with the Jews. There's many books written. This book only put what it put in it. Now, I want to explain to you guys why Simon Peter was crucified upside down on an upside down cross. But to give you guys some references, if you want to read up on it yourself, you have a lot of 2nd century writings like the Lucian Acts. These is books written on the Acts of the Apostles. When you're dealing with the Lucian Acts, it have the writings of, or the Acts of John, Peter, Andrew, Thomas, and Paul. But that's one book. So the Lucian Acts, Lucian being like, y'all don't know the Apocrypha text, so it's going to be strange. Meaning in the Apocrypha text, Simon Peter's not one person. Simon the Magus, this is a magician, and then you have Peter. Simon the Magus is trying to buy miracles. He don't understand. He a magician, so he see them doing miracles. He like, yeah, I want to sell me that magic, blood. That shit better, right? So him and Peter have like turmoil because he don't understand, like, we not doing magic. You doing magic. But when I say magic, I'm not speaking of like magic tricks. I'm speaking of like science, sorcery. He's looking at it like that. They science, they sorcery is better than mine. They healing people, you get it? And my chemistry ain't that good. Like that. And I don't want you to get lost on like fake magic. We speaking real practices, but he just see like this is better. So he's trying to buy the Holy Ghost or bribe some of them for the Holy Ghost. Meaning the Holy Ghost is how they perform their magic, which is called miracles. He's trying to buy that, and they're trying to explain to him it don't work like that. You can't buy the Holy Ghost or the Holy Spirit. Like I said, if I'm not clear at any point, let me know. But you have the Lucian Acts. This is like the Acts of John, Peter, Thomas, Andrew, and Paul, written as one book. Now, you have a book called the Codex, or you have like a manuscript. I don't know what you call it. It's over in the museums over in Italy. But you have a manuscript of some sort called the Codex Vercellensis or Vercellensis. Now, the Codex Vercellensis contains the Vetus Latina. This is like the first Latin translation of the Hebrew Bible. So we're talking about ancient stuff, meaning the Bible was written in Hebrew at first, called the Tanakh. And you got many translations of this book of many different cultures. But of course, the Bible and all of this stuff that we have today is coming from the Latin side. So when you're dealing with the Codex Vercellensis or the Vetus Latina, this is basically one of the earliest Latin translations of the Hebrew Bible. Basically, the Bible translated into Latin from Hebrew, but this is like one of the first ones. So when that you got a perspective, it probably got like, it's probably more close to the original than ours would be, because this one of the first translations. In that, they probably didn't edit it as much, just translated it. In that, you're getting the accurate text. Now, you have that book, the Vetus Latina, earliest Latin translation of the Bible. The Codex Vercellensis contains that book, or the Codex Vercellensis is basically the translation of that book, meaning the Vetus Latina would have been in Old Latin. So look at the Codex Vercellensis as like it written in modern Latin. Think like Old English. Like if I tell you out the Old English Bible, but if you read it and they like hear thee, and all of that, where's goest thouest? And you like, man, the Holy Ghost said what? Ghost from power said, where goest thou? You like, ghost from Tommy what? Like that. So they would have to like put it into English that you know. So like that. The Codex Vercellensis contains the Vetus Latina in a more modern translation, not ancient Latin. Now, peace and wisdom, unknowable. Now, I guess you can read the Apocrypha text. I'm sure you are not going to be able to read the Codex Vercellensis. You're going to have to go to like the museum or wherever they hold it. And in that, you feel me? You can look but don't touch. Meaning there's a lot of writings in Italy, in their museums and, you know, they big libraries. They church libraries, so to say. But a lot of them books you ain't gonna be able to read. You could just look at it If you connected enough and you get to read it, they ain't gonna let you like check it out. You have to sit there, kind of read what you can, but they close at 7 and it's 6:35, so like that. But you could read like the Apocrypha text just to get a perspective. We speaking of Peter being crucified upside down. Now, like I said in the Apocrypha text, Simon and Peter are Simon Peter's two people, not one. In the Bible, they made him one person, but still speaks of him like two, meaning sometimes they refer to him as Simon, sometimes as Peter. Now, you can look into the Lucian Acts, the Codex Versalensis, or the Vetus Latina, or just look at the Apocrypha text. If you want to, read up on Peter being crucified upside down. Now, I'm about to give you the reality of why he was. Meaning, even if you read the text, you may not have understanding like I do. So it's not a definite you won't grasp anything still. You'll just get the proofs that, oh, they do have writings that Peter was crucified upside down. Like that, I'm giving you a reference, but if you never even heard of this, you might be a Christian of now and you know nothing but now. You never really picked up the book or nothing, so you like, I ain't never heard nothing about no Peter getting crucified. And I know nothing about like what happened to the disciples after Jesus died. Meaning most Christians in today don't know all the disciples died. All of them got whacked except for one. I'm going to explain that one and why he didn't get whacked. That's John. John's the one that got put in boiling oil, but nothing happened. So they said blood is a miracle. And they exiled him to Patmos. This is in your Apocrypha text in these older writings like the Codex Versalensis. Now, like I said, when you're dealing with these older writings, they speak of Simon and Peter as two different people, and they always have little conflict. Why the Bible made them one, I'm not sure. I'll probably have to read through it again. Maybe I missed something. But, when you're reading a thing, you get my point? I wasn't reading it when I read it. You get it? I did all these readings a long time ago in my earlier days, but when I read it, I wasn't reading it from the perspective like, why is Simon and Peter two different people? I ain't fully read all the way through the Holy Bible, so when I'm reading it, Simon the Magus and Peter, you get it, the disciple, I'm not thinking in that way. Like, oh, I thought Simon and Peter was one person. Like some of y'all right now, you like Peter, Simon, Peter, whatever, like that. So when I read it, I wasn't reading it from that perspective, in that it could have been right in my face why they would have made it one person, but I wasn't reading it from that pretense. I was just reading it to see like the point of what they're speaking of. Yeah, there's something to that, why they made them one. If you're familiar with the Apocrypha text, you already know that, like Simon and Peter, they two different people, but they know each other. Simon the Magus, this is a magician. He's like a later disciple, but blood's not right. You get it? Like I say, he trying to buy miracles and shit. He don't get it. So he a little crooked. But it all makes sense to you after this video. Now, let's get into why Peter got crucified upside down. Peace and wisdom unknowable. Now, in the Last Supper, this is when Jesus sits the disciples down. He tells them one of them or all of them is going to betray him. This is when Peter puts on the extras, like, I would never, Rabbi. I love you. So then he tells Peter, man, you're going to deny me. Basically to tell him, you worse than You worse than whoever betrayed me, because you gonna deny me 3 times before the cock crow. That's basically before the chicken starts making their noises in the morning. So he basically telling Peter, you gonna betray me in the evening, nigga, before the sun even rise. You a cold-blooded bozo. But they don't understand the Last Supper, meaning the disciples. They're just breaking bread with him. They don't get what's going on. But in the Last Supper, Jesus is basically letting them know. So like y'all gonna set me up. They get captured. And they gonna kill me and, eat me and shit. Because ain't nobody back in them days letting no meat go to waste. So if a person, animal, anything was killed, you get it? You ain't about to let that go to waste. It ain't like no store up the block. That's still good meat. So in the past, if a person died or something, after the funeral rites and all of that, you got to have a brain. That's going to be ground beef, steak, something. So this is why he said, break the bread, pretend it's my flesh. Basically, so the reader grasp, this got to do with eating. A great sacrifice. Kind of like when y'all eat. If y'all didn't go to the store, y'all would go outside, shoot a deer or something, and you get it? That deer is the sacrifice to get you through. And that deer, is a glorious thing, especially when you're starving. That's why in the past, man always find God when he's starving. That's why God always an animal. Meaning God worship started when man was starving and killed his first animal and ate it. You get it? This is why God was a squirrel, a turtle, all the way to now he's a sheep. But y'all like lamb chops and shit now. Y'all a little bougie and shit. So in the past, niggas eating turtle soup. Niggas ain't doing that good. They eating squirrels and shit. They eating squirrels and shit. We big ballin', baby. So, they say God gotta get updated, my nigga. He can't be a squirrel still. That shit's weird. This ancient Norse. So back in old Norse times, that's old English times. God was a squirrel. You can look this up. Who's the squirrel god in old Norse? That's old English. You speak modern day English, so you get it? And when that squirrel pop up on your screen, then oh, Silas wasn't joking. God was a squirrel. A squirrel, a turtle, all the way up to now he is sheep. And it ain't to say like in the future he not gonna be a buffalo. Well, he was already a buffalo, a bull. Just think about Moses and the Hebrews and their golden calf. That's a baby bull. God always food, especially when you starving. So y'all haven't found God yet, technically, because y'all ain't really been starving before where it's over. Like, oh shit, y'all live in the city, y'all got stores. Y'all just say, fuck it, I'ma just have to beg. But if you out in the land, you get it out in real life, you gonna have that moment where you like, oh shit, man, my babies just died and I'm about to die too, because y'all starved. Cold fucking winter. You lost a couple of kids, my nigga. You like, god damn. If a leopard or something don't walk by, I'm dead. Got no more energy, man, to even go on. Then out of nowhere, a squirrel just run by you. You kill it. So, that squirrel is God. Or sent by God. Gift from God, something, but I knew I was about to be dead. So, this is how God was found in the past. If you seen that movie, with Leonardo DiCaprio, and he killed that bear, I forgot the name. That's enough of a description for you to find the actual movie, but I forgot the name of the movie. But the movie where Leonardo DiCaprio gets attacked by the bear, and they over in North America in the early times, colonizer movie. And the dude is telling the other dude, like, how his pops was about to die and found the squirrel, and basically what I'm telling y'all. So I prefer a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Make sure you try that Big Usia peanut butter and jelly sandwich like I told y'all how to make it. That home cook grilled cheese, you know? Well, grilled peanut butter and jelly, no cheese needed. Now, where was I at? God's always a squirrel, a lamb, some piece of food. So this is why in the Last Supper, Jesus is like, you know, take this bread, eat it like it's my flesh. Take this wine, pretend it's my blood. He's preparing them for the next day, where he gonna get killed, you get it? And put on the instrument that you cook meat on. You know, crucifix. That's an instrument for cooking animals on. Still used today. The Revenant. Thank you, the real golden child. The Revenant. If you never seen that movie, you should check it out with Leonardo DiCaprio. It's good from the beginning. The fucking Indians pop out. If you one of them types and you like, man, I want to see some Indians fuck up some colonizers. Go watch that. Shot blood cleaning his head with the arrow. They came out of nowhere, the Indians. They was gangster. They told the white man, blood, we need horses. They chumped the white nigga off. They told him, man, we gonna give you something for these pelts. But then when they pulled up to make the trade, they told the white man, fuck you, nigga, we need guns and horses. He said, nah, you made an agreement with us. Or Indian nigga will go. Robbed them niggas. The Indians cold blood robbed them niggas. And they whacked that nigga at the end too. Leonardo DiCaprio sent them off to them. The Indians was chilling mad calm on their horses that they got from the white man. That nigga, he was in the river floating half dead. They was just waiting for him to get to them. They dragged him out the river, killed his ass, because he raped their daughter. You get it? And she was on her horses with them. So that shit was like powerful. Like, damn. Imagine somebody rape your daughter and you catch up with them. You get it? And she with you. And you like, yeah, I'm about to cream this motherfucker. But Leonardo DiCaprio already creamed him. Because that same dude killed his son right in front of him. Remember, Leonardo DiCaprio had a fight with a bear. So this nigga's half dead, handicapped. Blood killed his son right in front of him. He couldn't do nothing but like blow spit bubbles out his mouth. So the whole movie, he looking for this nigga. He gonna whack him. You get it? So I'm just giving you a little perspective. If you like, I want to see a good movie, watch that. He caught that motherfucker. But let's keep everything going. Now, in the Last Supper, Jesus is telling them, one of y'all is gonna betray me. Most people think it's Judas. So if I ask all of y'all, who was Jesus talking to in the Last Supper, most of y'all gonna say Judas, the one that betrayed them. He was talking to Peter, Simon Peter, not Judas. So in the Last Supper, when he's saying like, you know, one of y'all gonna betray me, Simon Peter's the one that spoke up, like, I would never. And that's why he told him, you gonna deny me 3 times, basically to let him know, talking about you. You follow? But Simon Peter don't get it. Now, I know some of y'all say, Simon Peter's one of Jesus's disciples. I've never known of him to be the one that set him up. They all set him up. Apostles means opposer. So this is why the 12 apostles are always questioning him for the whole goddamn book. They're looking for an angle to oppose him, or an angle to do what they already have planned to do, which is sell him out to the Jewish priest and the Roman Catholic Church so they can whack him. So most don't know Jesus was being lined up by his own apostles. This is why at the Last Supper he's telling them that. I know what y'all doing. And you get it? Y'all gonna succeed tomorrow. And so you get it? But most of y'all don't know that. You don't read the text. So let's go to John chapter 18. We can start at verse 10. This is for those of y'all that don't know that Peter set up Jesus, not Judas. John chapter 18. This is the chapter where they come and capture Jesus. And Peter cuts one of their ears off. But I don't want to read from the first verse. I want to start at where they capture Jesus. Now, John chapter 18, we're going to start at verse 10, chapter 18 of John. I'm saying this so you can pull out your book if you want to read your own self. Now, they already pulling up on Jesus and them, but they ain't getting yet. Now, I'm about to read chapter 10. It says, Then Simon Peter, having a sword, drew it and struck the high priest's servant and cut off his right ear. The servant's name was Malchus. So Jesus said to Peter, Put your sword into the sheath. Shall I not drink the cup which my Father has given me? Then the detachment of troops and the captains and the officers of the Jews arrested Jesus and bound him. So the Jews is killing this nigga. But they got to get authority from the Romans. This is basically the precursor to modern day Christianity. So if you were a Christian or a Jew, in the times of Jesus, you the one that went against him. The religion is based on that. Killing this God. This is why y'all say, Jesus is going to die for my sins. It's a blasphemy. But I'll explain. Let me just give you the reference or the proof that Peter betrayed Jesus. All of them, but mainly Peter. Now, in verse 12 I'm at now, it says, verse 13, it says, And they led him away to Annas first, for he was the father-in-law of Caiaphas, who was high priest that year of the Jews. Now it was Caiaphas who advised the Jews that it was expedient that one man should die for the people. You heard that part? See, most of y'all say, no, man, Jesus was sent by God, and he have to die for us. Again, it says, now it was Caiaphas. This is the high priest of the Jews. Now it was Caiaphas who advised the Jews that it was expedient that one man should die for the people. Meaning they already been planned. This don't got nothing to do with God. Why would God, good old God of the whole existence, have somebody got to die? What that got to do with godly shit? That part it don't. It got to do with the Jews. Men decide one of our own got to die so we can start this religion and take over the world. This is why y'all say now, like, Jews run everything. Yeah, but it wasn't like that always. This how it got like that. Now, it was Caiaphas who advised the Jews that it was expedient that one man should die for the people. So they basically saying, y'all got this Jesus cat, well, let's just use him. Because we already behind schedule, blah. Like that. Pick anybody, who cares? Really, John the Baptist is supposed to be Jesus. But he's smart, so he like, nah, I'm not. I'll explain all this at the end if I remember and still got time. But in a nutshell, John the Baptist, he put his burdens on Jesus. He said, nah, I'm not. If you're familiar with the Bible, you get it? He said, no, Jesus is the Son of God, not me. They brought that accusation to John. They said, you the one they prophesied about. He said, no, I'm not. It's somebody else coming after me. Who? I ain't picked that nigga yet, but let me look a little bit. So that's how the real narrative go. When y'all reading it in the Bible, same narrative, but y'all just not reading from that pretense. to say, hold on, they accused John first. He's supposed to die. Put that shit off on Jesus. But he ain't knowing, like, I'm gonna put it off on Jesus. He picked that nigga, like, he baptized people every day, so he gonna pick one of them. So this go deep. But let's stick to Peter betraying Jesus. Now, it says, it was expedient that one man should die for the people. I'm at verse 15. It says, and Simon Peter followed Jesus. So they captured Jesus, they taken him away. Simon Peter followed, and so did another disciple. Now that disciple was known to the high priest, and went in with Jesus into the courtyard of the high priest. But Peter stood at the door outside. So Peter and another disciple, they follows Jesus. When they get there, the other disciple that they didn't name, blood, went in the palace with them. How? The fuck is you? You supposed to be Jesus, man. How you walk in the palace? Peter kicked back outside. I guess he can't come in. He ain't as important as the disciple they didn't name. Blood got a whole relationship with these people that just captured his master. Again, the disciples of Jesus. Two of them followed, Peter being one. When they get to the palace where they take him, the one walk in like he know them. Nobody stopped him enough. They stopped Peter. Who you? But he went on right on in. Like that. I'm helping you to see. They all betrayed him. But you can read along yourself. Now, it says, but Peter stood at the door outside. Then the other disciple, who was known to the high priest, went out and spoke to her who kept the door, and brought Peter in. So when they got there, they stopped Peter, but he went on in. I guess he mingled with whoever he needed to. He said, yeah, bring my man in. We all helped y'all. Then he come back out, tell Shorty at the door, let my man in. He good. You get it? That's what it's explaining. Like I said, most people never picked up the book. They're just a Christian, but they don't even know, like, the narrative. So if you were Christian, did you know Peter set up Jesus? Did you know when they captured him that they just followed him? And then when they got to the palace where they brought Jesus, one of the disciples just walked in like they was expecting him? That part. Now let's get to the deep part. It says, but Peter stood at the door outside. Then the other disciple, who was known to the high priest, went out and spoke to her who kept the door, and brought Peter in. Then the servant girl who kept the door said to Peter, you are not also one of the man's disciples, are you? Basically asking Peter, hold on, blood, ain't you with this nigga that we got, like, about to fucking kill? Ain't you with him? Peter said, I am not. That's the first time he denied him. Now the servants and officers who had made a fire of coals stood there, for it was cold. Let me say that again, because it's like a tongue twister. Now the servants and officers, these are those that kidnapped Jesus and brought him to the palace. Now they're standing by, or they made a fire of coals. And they're standing by it to keep warm because it's cold. So it says, now the servants and officers who had made a fire of coals stood there, for it was cold, and they warmed themselves. And Peter stood with them and warmed himself. Do you follow? They just captured Jesus. Peter and the other disciple followed behind them. The disciple go inside, and he come back out and say, let Peter in. Peter comes inside. Jesus is standing right there. He can see Peter and the other disciple. And Peter goes stand next to the niggas that just captured him. And they just chilling with this nigga. Like that. So when y'all reading this book, y'all not getting this shit deep. Meaning, nigga, you want to read a good betrayal story? Read this shit. It'll blow your mind. You be like, hold on. Everything I thought I knew about Christianity just got to do with what people that never read the book saying. You get it? Jesus speaking against the Jews and the Romans. These the people that killed them. So if you like, I'm a Jew, I'm a Christian, you're high. You have no clue what you are. That's why Jesus always say, just forgive them because they stupid. Well, he say forgive them for they know not what they do. Basically to say forgive them, they completely stupid. If you say how we stupid, you believe God gonna die and you don't see you evil. What the fuck do God dying got to do with anything? That don't sound dumb to you? Like that, y'all going into society, so y'all don't think on anything. God ain't safe with no Christian. A Christian think God's supposed to die, so they not going to interfere with God dying. If God came right now, the Christian's going to kill him. Not a regular person. Like that. But if you tell a Christian, man, you in the op of God. You not, your religion got to do with those that oppose God. The Christian will look at you like you're fucking crazy. We God people. They don't grasp, nigga. Y'all killed God, blood. Y'all the ones. Y'all proud of it. Like, he gonna die for our sins, like a blasphemy. Like, a Christian don't get that. So you get it? You go deep. But now the servants and the officers, this is verse 18 of chapter 18 of John. Now the servants and officers who had made a fire of coals stood there, for it was cold, and they warmed themselves. And Peter stood with them and warmed himself. The high priest then asked Jesus about his disciples and his doctrine. Now this, they going to talk to Jesus, but I'm going to skip on down back to Peter so you can see he is snake. But you should already see that now. He set him up. So after they captured him and he put on his song and dance and chopped the nigga ear off, he's standing right next to the nigga who ear he chopped off. And they just chilling with him, like whatever. Like that. So Jesus is basically standing there like, what the fuck? And they just take him out. I should have been Mel Gibson and wrote The Passion of the Christ so y'all could see it right, nigga. They lined him up. The whole movie, starting with John the Baptist. They say you the son of man or the son of God. Basically to say, nigga, you the nigga that we picked. Remember when I read where the Jew said, man, it's expedient that one man gotta die. Man, they was gonna kill John. John said, no, it's not me, it's somebody else. So you get it? They like, we not gonna keep doing this. This motherfucker's dying. Y'all let John go. Like that. Y'all not reading it according to the right pretense. In that, y'all like, I don't get it. The book's solid, but you gotta have understanding. Meaning you gotta pray for understanding. But if you a Christian, you got to grasp you are of God, so you ain't gonna grasp the book. That's why you got to pray for understanding. Because technically you are op. You don't even know it. You what Jesus is saying, forgive them because they fucking stupid, my nigga. They saying I'ma die and shit. God is life, eternal. How can that die? It can't. That part. You say Jesus raised from the dead. Can't kill God. That's why it's written in that way. Y'all don't understand. This is scholarship explaining something deep that predates physical life. It's how you get physical life. But y'all reading it as it already is physical. And that is deep. This that $1 million scholarship. Meaning, if you ever wondered, like, why I need to get a one-on-one? Well, I'm the best scholar you ever gonna find in life. Scholarship got to do with understanding. And understanding has to do with one being on a balanced certain path, certain frequencies. It sounds like a book assassin, a book of assassins, hitmans, and serial killers all in one. Yeah, you know, they just killing each other and shit. But that shouldn't be a surprise to you because they over in Israel doing that now. That's all religious people do is kill, my nigga. They convince theyself they people of God and then they just blaspheme God by carrying on like a fucking fool. You follow? Some of y'all good-hearted, you get what I mean? Like that. Otherwise, who else is blowing up shit and acting a whole fucking fool on a worldwide scale? Just religion people, meaning Muslims, Christians, Jews, just religious people. They the ones that's bringing the value of life down. Y'all blowing up shit, y'all going to war with each other over y'all religions. The two niggas up the block that got a little beef, that's just their little thing. It ain't gonna fuck up everything in life. So the Jews in the Palestine are the Muslims and the Jews are having a little war over in Israel. Now everybody that's a part of a religion, one or the other, y'all getting involved. You know why? Because y'all evil people. Violent, evil people. Say, no, we not. Well, then why do you say God going down? And why is y'all killing in the name of God? Because like I said, y'all are evil. And I hope you get understanding at some point and pick up the book. The book ain't a religious book. The book is for whoever was dumb enough to fall into the religion. The religion being a Loki. That's a lie. So in the beginning, Elohim, that's Loki, plural, created the heavens and earth. Meaning y'all worship Loki. Loki being a personification of a lie. And so the name of y'all God is El. E-L. For la 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 la. Meaning y'all Muslims. A Christian is a Muslim is a Christian. They worship the same God. Big L. La 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 is how you sound out L. And E-L is how you spell L. You speak in a letter. And so la 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 la. Lie or lie is the same word. That part. And so I'm just giving you those references if you one that's lost in religions. You definitely on the wrong path, but you'll come to know that at some point. Thank you, Levi Johnson, for the give back. I appreciate that. And like the video if you want other people to see it. Meaning it circulates more the more likes it has. I don't care about likes. Give back, yeah. I'm sorry. Fuck likes. Give back. I don't even care about no likes. But I'm just, let's focus. Deep scholarship. Now, I'm going to skip down to verse 25. John chapter 18, verse 25. It says, now, Simon Peter stood and warmed himself, with the people that captured Jesus. Therefore they said to him, you are not also one of his disciples? He denied it again and said, I am not, as the second time. One of the servants of the high priest, a relative of him whose ear Peter cut off, a relative of the person whose ear Peter just cut off 15 minutes ago. He said to Peter, did I not just see you in the garden with him? I'm trying to make it so you can picture it in your own mind. Peter sitting there warming himself up with these people that just captured Jesus. Blood put on a whole show and dance and cut off one of their ears so Jesus won't know he is snake. But for sure you know he is safe because he follow behind. Because he like, make sure they get him. They get to the palace, one of the disciples walk in, Peter kick back, then Peter come in. He go chill with them dudes that just captured them. And he warming up with them. And so one of them asks him, that's a relative to the one ear he cut off. He say, man, didn't I just see you in the garden with him? But Peter denied for the third time. He said, did I not see you in the garden with him? Peter then denied again, and immediately a rooster crowed. Then they led Jesus from Caiaphas to the Praetorium, basically to where they about to like stall him out, beat him up, put the crown over his head and all of that. They put a bird's nest on Jesus' head. Blood, you ain't no motherfucking God. You a bird. A bird crown over his head. That's what that crown of thorns was. Just a bird's nest with thorns and thistles and shit in it. You know, to let him know, like, they're blaspheming God. I don't know why y'all don't get that. Y'all believe God is gonna die and all of this dumb shit he got spit on. But when I tell y'all, man, all y'all Christians, y'all blaspheme God. That's what your religion about. So they done throw a bird's nest on this nigga head and all that. Man, you be talking about God, you can't do that to God. This is fucking stupid. Like that. But y'all believe. Blasphemy, that's dumb. How can you kill God and put a bird's nest on his head? That part, you can't. But I just read what I did from the Bible so that you guys can grasp. Peter set up Jesus. It wasn't Judas. That's why he looked at Peter and said, you're going to deny me 3 times before the cock crow. Now, Peter's the one that was crucified upside down. Most of y'all will say, okay, I get it now. He was crucified because he betrayed Jesus. No. He was crucified because he didn't go all the way through with betraying Jesus. And that's why all the disciples got whacked. They all disappeared. Meaning if I ask y'all, which was the disciples at the crucifixion? Was Peter there? That part. Was any of them there? Nope. It said next to the cross was Mary and another disciple that Jesus loved. But none of the rest of them. Meaning they sold him out, but they was supposed to be at the crucifix like everybody else. Showing that their allegiance. Yes, we down with the killing of this man. And we the ones that lined him up, but they couldn't go through with it. You get it? And Peter went further than all of them. Meaning he actually went to the palace and he just couldn't show up to the crucifixion. So in that, he was crucified because he didn't go through with selling Jesus all the way out. But he sold him out. He succeeded in selling him out. But then at some point, he decides he don't want to see it through. So you get it? Jesus is supposed to know they all sold him out. But none of them showed up. Meaning, the Jews and the Romans is looking at them like, see, they did what they said they was going to do, but they not standing on it. You get it? We all here. His mama here. Y'all don't know how deep this story goes. Jesus' mama lined him up. Again, they like his mama here, everybody here. Where they at? Jesus up on the cross looking at everybody that betrayed him. That's all the Jewish people, his mama, everybody. Sold him out. The Jews already had this plan that somebody got to die. Like I said when I read that verse, it's expedient somebody got to die, so blood gonna just have to die. You get it? In that, they're all supposed to be there so Jesus could see, like, y'all line me up. He already knows, though. He told them at the Last Supper. But they so goddamn dumb. They don't get like he already know. He was telling y'all he knew. In that, they ashamed. They don't show up. Judas go hang himself and shit. In that, they didn't go through with it all the way technically. He said Peter might be cartel. Peter's a snake. If y'all ever have known a snake, and you know Simon Peter, that's why I say Suge Knight. That's why they call Suge Knight Simon. And Tupac Machiavelli. Tupac like Jesus on the cross. If you understand biblical scholarship, then you say, oh shit. Suge lined him up. Why else is Suge called Simon? That's Suge code name, Simon. As in Simon Peter. But most of y'all will say, I don't know why Suge called himself Simon. I guess like Simon Says. No. He's Simon. Pac is Jesus. Going as Machiavelli. But he's on the cross and all. So you get it? How deep your mind go, how much of an understanding on certain scholarships you know, like that, then y'all would have known, like, oh, you get it? Suge lined him up. That's why I say Suge used him as a shield when they pulled up busting off. That's why everybody say Pac was jumping around. If somebody's trying to hold you so you can't move and they shooting, so whoever's looking gonna look like you're breakdancing and shit. But you're trying to get Suge's big ass arm off you, like get the fuck off me, but you're taking all the shots. Suge scared to death, he already got shot in the head, so he like, yo, hold on, you get it? Use him as a shield. Y'all play dumb around that point, like nah, Suge tried to save him. He tried to push him down where? They in the car, push him down where? That part. I don't have no scholarship, so y'all don't understand things right in y'all face. But he said they got Keefe D hanging himself like Judas. Keefe D is a pawn. The cops did that. And you get it? Cops don't like Keefe D. Maybe, well, let's say one specific cop don't like Keefe D. So you get it? Say, fuck that nigga. They lined them up, like I said. But this video not about Tupac. Maybe I'll do another video on that. It's about Jesus and Simon Peter. And so hopefully you clear from biblical texts. Peter set him up. But he didn't go all the way through with it. And that's why he was crucified. Meaning he didn't show his face. To like, you get it? It's like you set me up. We all got an agreement. You get it? But then on the day you don't show up. In that, if people telling me like, nah, your boy was in on it too. Well, where he at then? You get it? Peter kind of separated himself in that. They like blood ain't stand on it all the way. He didn't show up. In that, you get it? He got to be disciplined. I mean, he got to get whacked too. He not all the way with it. So, Peter, I'm sorry, I have to use the restroom. I was going to try and get it through, but give me 1 second. I'll explain. If you guys want to give back, this is a good time to do so. Okay, I'm back. Now let's get to why Peter was crucified upside down, or the reason. I want to say this before I do that, so y'all be clear. Of course, if you was watching, so I'm sure you got a mind and say, yeah, the scholarship is deep. Shit might cost my life one day. You get my point? So when you come in here, you make sure you give back. But it's not about you giving back. More than anything, it's about you keep that in your mind, even if you don't give back. Motherfuckers might whack me for this shit. Y'all not supposed to know this. You get my point? Meaning it's not no joke. People was killed over the times to make sure y'all Christians. You get my point? If you wondering like, why everybody Christians? My nigga, this shit ugly. And so a lot of ugly deeds and a lot of, like, not just God was killed, but a lot of ugly shit was did for things to be how they are now. And so you get my point? It's a gift for y'all. I don't have to do this. I could just kick back and keep everything safe. I know the truth. I'm safe, whatever. Y'all lucky I'm the type of person that I am. You know, big ego, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't work for you. You didn't pay me to be quiet, so I don't have to be. Like that. And luckily for y'all, I'm how, maybe that's why I know. Because they say, like, he gonna say something. They just stand on it, fuck it. And so, even if you don't give back, don't tarnish my name. Make sure you remember, like, nah, blood did a real thing, cause y'all worship the devil, nigga. That's not no joke. And it gotta be like that. Meaning, this shit will go back to old times. They will hang you niggas and make y'all be Christians if y'all decide I ain't gonna be. Meaning, if enough of y'all stop being Christians, y'all gonna see the true colors, man. They gonna start forcing y'all like they did before, nigga. Think Muslims is tripping? Muslims do what they do because the way they see it, everybody need to be a Muslim, and whoever ain't could die. And so, you get my point? Y'all in deep shit, but y'all don't get it. Y'all just lost in the world. And so, these lessons is important for y'all. And so, if anything, grasp at least. Otherwise, you fuck me twice. And you don't give back to make sure I can be good. And you get it? And then on that, you gonna slander me. Forgetting like, nah, blood, you did a real thing. That's why a lot of people don't feel comfortable standing with me. They fuck with me, but you get it? They know like I gotta go to work, my nigga. And niggas will block me from eating. Like that. Y'all don't know what I'm up against. Because the way I carry it, like. But y'all will crumble. You get my point? And so don't never like overlook those things. I don't know what you saying, real golden child, but salam, shalom. And make sure you heard what I said. Now, the reason Peter was crucified was because he didn't go through with it till the end. Meaning, show himself to Jesus when he's on the cross, so he'd be clear who lined him up. In fact, none of the disciples showed up. So you get it? They didn't truly go through with it. So in that, Peter was crucified for that deed, not because what he did to Jesus means set him up. He was supposed to do that. He was supposed to go through with that, but he didn't. He did go through with it, but he didn't, stand with them at the end. when he's hanging on the cross. Now, let's go to the deep parts. You have the Petrine cross. This is the upside down cross. That cross itself, not Peter, but the cross itself, meaning the cross of Peter. This is the upside down cross. It's a symbol for the opposite or opposing the upright cross. So that symbol itself is in opposition or an opposer, symbol-wise, of the upright cross. The upright cross is a symbol of Christianity. So it's kind of confusing, meaning y'all view Christianity as good. This is the upright cross. In that, y'all view the upside down cross as evil. But it's truly reverse. Christianity believe in the killing of God, meaning the Jews and the Christians, they the ones that did this. This is their blasphemy. It's a blasphemy because it can't happen. Meaning God ain't no man. And you can kill 1 million men and convince everybody in life that that was God, but sorry, buddy. God ain't no man and you could never kill God. You're blaspheming God, or you're trying to be disrespectful when you do that. You get it? God ain't a person that you can touch. You can't do nothing with God. You get it? You know how niggas say I ain't worthy to touch the shoelaces of Jesus? Nigga, y'all not even worthy to see God or nothing or do anything. So when you talking about we killed God and hung him up on the cross, why'd you smoking crack? You did that to some man and you call him whatever you want. You get it? It's a blasphemy, meaning the religion Christianity was an ancient blasphemy against God. Satan worship. This is why God is all beat up and spit on and disrespected. Ask yourself, why do my religion have God getting disrespected? Is the devil getting disrespected? Are you getting disrespected? No, just God. He's beat up on the cross, spit on his face, bird nests on his head, meat on a stick. Somehow a Christian cannot see, like, that's disrespectful. People don't even do that to men. Like, if a person ain't no die ugly, they just don't bring that part up. You get it? Who the fuck is bringing up the ugliest parts and then acting like, well, I'm with God. You get it? Y'all not with God, y'all just don't understand. Meaning if you're a Christian, you're with God, but you don't understand the start. Meaning you are part of a thing that got you thinking, I'm the people of God. You're the people that kill God, or you are in a religion that represents that. God killing. Now, of course, you can't kill God. That's what makes it a blasphemy. Meaning the religion that you're in, which is Christianity, is a blasphemy. It's not God worship, it's God disrespect. Done purposely. But it's a Loki, so it's hidden. Meaning Loki is the trickster God. He tests man morals. Because y'all are not fair and balanced in y'all way, y'all do not question, like, why do God gotta die for me? I'm just a person. That would be the honorable and the just thing. Well, shit, nobody gotta die for me. I'm just stand on my own words. But because y'all have no honor, a Christian, y'all fall for it. Meaning you don't question or care, like, why God is beat up and gonna die. You say that's all for me. Not seeing the selfishness in it. If I ask a Christian, did Jesus want to die for you? That part. You can't say yeah. Well, then why was the disciples supposedly protecting him and they was fleeing? Why did they capture him if he was in agreement? That part. Why was he denying? Saying, I ain't guilty, I ain't say I was God. If he wanted to. That part. Christianity is a blasphemy. It's an evil thing of old. Satan worship are Satan is the opposer. So you just say it's a religion that has to do with opposing God. God not being a man that you can beat up, but he will be displayed in that way as a disrespect to God. You can't do shit to me. So now you depict me as a man with spit on my face. I'm grown, so I'm not worrying about it. You can't do shit to me. Have fun. You get it? Like that. Christianity that. We gonna disrespect God, whatever. The symbol for Christianity is the upright cross. So the upside down cross would be for all those who despise or oppose Christianity, which is a blasphemy religion against God. That's what the upside down cross represents. It represents opposition to Christianity, but in today's times, y'all view Christianity as good. And that, most of y'all see the upside down cross as bad. When the perspective is adjusted, then do you get it? The cross just got to do with being the opposition to the upright cross. Now, whatever the upright cross is, will determine what the other one is. Like that. Christianity is an evil. That is representing all those that go against that evil, which is killing God and all this dumb blaspheme talk. The whole religion, which is the people. Any person who do not stand with that foolishness in the past would have wore a patrine, an upside down cross, to say I don't stand with that stupidity. You get it? Meaning Christianity, which is the people, their symbol is this upright cross. So all who say, I want to make it clear, I'm not one with those that believe God gonna get killed and spit on, that's blasphemy. They would have wore the upside down cross. Now, most of y'all will say, well, then why was Peter put on the upside down cross? He won with Christianity. He the one that lined Jesus up. He didn't go through with it. You get it? So they put Peter on the patrine cross as somebody who opposes Christianity. This is the people. But that same man is the op of Jesus. You get it? The blood upside down. He lined Jesus up, so he's one with Christianity. This is the upright cross. Again, Peter lined Jesus up. He's one with the religion of the people. This is Christianity, the upright cross. But then he decides he don't want to go through with it after he already did. So now he's the beginnings of all those who oppose Christianity, even though he the stupid motherfucker that... So they say blood upside down in his ways. He retarded. And so the patrine cross starts with St. Peter. It's upside down like him. And he was crucified upside down to show he is opposite of Jesus. He's the op of Jesus. But since he's so crooked and retarded, he's actually the beginnings of all those who oppose the killing of God. Meaning he on both sides. He retarded. Not retarded, but you get it? He indecisive in his ways. Like that. That's what the cross of St. Peter represents. Meaning, the cross is the symbol for those who oppose Jesus, or the killing of Jesus. The upside down cross is for those who oppose Christianity. If you understand, you say St. Peter's a Christian. So why is he on that cross? He should be on a Christian cross because he's a Christian. No, he's not. He was a Christian and helped line up Jesus. Then he felt ashamed about it because he know he ain't shit. Like that. So then he don't go through with it. So they say he gotta die now. But to crucify him like Jesus when he the opposite, so they turn him upside down. You the Appa Jesus, but you strange. So now you like the Appa Christianity too. Like that. He's upside down in his ways. If y'all don't understand what I'm saying, let me know where so I can make it clearer. But if you grasp, then peace and wisdom. I'm not sure why you're speaking of Bloods and Crips, but you don't need to be associating stupidities with me, champion. You might want to excuse yourself. You sound too stupid to be here. I ain't met a Blood or Crip that was smart in no way. And so I don't know what crack you smoking, but evil and the glories of life don't merge. Ain't nothing positive or good about gangs, nigga. Cause that's what you are, you a nigga. Ain't nothing positive or good about gangs. And I ain't your age, stupid fucking fool. So you don't never feel comfortable talking to other grown-ups about kid stupidity. You think a fucking adult is, you get it? I got the perspective of your mother. You don't come talking to me about gang shit, nigga. That's like my daughter coming to talk to me about gang shit. Get low, what are you talking about? Like that. Evil shit and good shit don't go together. Knowledge have to do with good. That part. Get your thoughts together, champ. Don't ever disrespect my scholarship like that again. And don't ever confuse me, with that kind of shit. Now, St. Peter represents both, meaning he's set up. Not sure what you fools are talking about, but my channel is for deep wisdom. If you're a little retarded, don't come here. Other than that, Koiza, I don't know what you're speaking about. And I'm not being funny. This is about upside down cross, this video. When you're dealing with our young in the daytime, their minds is gone on gangster stuff. They think that they are that, I guess. I'm not sure. But this is why I don't deal with the young so much, 30 and under. Y'all kind of dumbed out beyond reality. And that's the purpose of YouTube and, all the stupidities that's on it. To make y'all completely stupid. And so, you may not be aware that you're stupid, but everyone knows what they are. So, I don't understand what you're saying, but salam shalom. I'm assuming you're saying like, basically trying to explain to me what happens in the suburbs and everywhere. Salam. You good, golden child. I remember you. You the one that told you to change your name. Golden child. You're a little hard-headed. This is why I don't deal with y'all. But try to grasp. Stop coming here playing, getting my nerves and whatnot. And change your name for real, champ. Not just like take, change your spelling a little bit. Change that shit. There's only one. Big Lucia. There's only one sex symbol. You see how cute I am even when I'm sick? You see how I scratch the side of my face like You don't have that, bro. You're disrespecting my son. He's cute like me. Get it together. If you're like, you're not cute, don't make me groom. Don't make me cut my mustache off and groom myself. Now, let me stop playing with the kids. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that little piece. And you two kids. Get it together. I'm not gonna block y'all or nothing like that because y'all need this. I'm like you, YN. Where all this gang talk coming from? But I be forgetting I have that. So, in perspective, said, I forget I have it. It's not new to me. It's like my mama, my kids, all these people, they see me all the time. They don't see it. It's old already. So when I'm looking in the camera at myself, I don't notice it. And that, when he start talking about gangs, I curse him out. I kind of forget, like, you're a normal person that sees me. You get it? Meaning he's not, you're wrong because I'm not your age, so you should never be speaking to no adult. Like, you get it? They're going to corroborate some dumb shit that kids is into because they more than likely have kids. So more than likely, you talking to me about gang shit, I'm looking at you like my kid, and I'm like gonna tell you what I would tell my kid. Our brain ain't the same. But if any of you guys ever get lost on gang stuff, so I get it. I try to keep my mind to remember, like, that is there. But I have to grow up at some point. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're saying, Real Golden Child, but more than anything, just grasp what I'm saying. It don't have nothing to do with anything you talking about. So your brain is full of stupidities, and so you get it? You're going to pull from them stupidities to grasp things. This is why you want to make sure the mind's sharp and ain't got a whole bunch of doo-doo, in it. Because it's that doo-doo that you want to use to grasp whatever comes into your mind. You got a whole bunch of gangs and dumb talk in your mind. When deep wisdom goes into it, it's going to be that dumb that shape and form that deep wisdom. Do you get it? Meaning you're going to be dumb. If somebody tell you something so deep, you're going to dumb it out to yourself, though. Because the perspective is dumbed down. And that, you get it? You're going to shallow the thing out. And so just keep that in mind. Wisdom starts with self-awareness. You got to be aware of yourself. How you move. Now, the upside down cross, this is the sign for those who oppose Christianity. Christianity being a blasphemy against God, not a good thing. Peter is on the Christian side, meaning he set Jesus up. But they put him on the cross of those that oppose Christianity because he didn't see it through. In that, he becomes the opposite or the op of Jesus. But technically, Jesus would be on the Petrine cross side, meaning Jesus is not in agreement with his own killing and all of that shit. You get it? He's saying forgive them because they know not what they do. But, you get it? He ain't got no choice in the matter. So Christians say he God, they slap him on the cross. That becomes the symbol of Christianity. The symbol of killing God. And that's what Christians worship. The killing of God and all that other stuff. Peter, he's put on the upside down cross because technically he's an op of Christianity. But he op of Jesus too, so he upside down. You get it? To give you an example, let's say you're a Christian right now. So you believe Jesus is going to die for your sins and the blood of the lamb and all this dumb stuff. And him getting beat up and spit on. Now Jesus is a representation of God. Meaning God ain't no man, but they using this man as a representation of God. So they beat him up and shit to disrespect God. You a Christian. This is what you believe. The disrespect or the blasphemy towards God. And the upright cross is your symbol. But let's say you watching this video, so you say, nah, I get what Saul is saying. I don't want no parts of that. If this was the past, you'd be wearing a Petrine or an upside down cross. You follow? To show like you're like Peter. You was one with the killing of God. Now you got a right, better mind, so you don't want to stand with that. You like Peter upside down. In the case of the Christian, they would just be like someone who was enlightened on the truth, and that now they don't stand with the killing of God, but they stand with the preserving of God. But they would wear the patrine because at one point they was an upright crosser. Now let's say you was somebody that was never a Christian or anything, and then you was bestowed with this wisdom I just gave you. You wouldn't need to wear a patrine cross, upside down cross, because you was never one with the killing of. You get it? The patrine cross got to do with any Christian who becomes aware of his reality. Kind of like Peter did. He lined Jesus up and realized I'm bugging, like, it's not a good look. You get it? Some people just want to be blocked. I don't get it. But you would be like Peter in a way, but you get it? Meaning if this was the past, y'all would have been right there with everybody. Like I said, if Jesus came right now, he ain't safe amongst Christians because they believe he gotta die. So if somebody starts killing him or say, you get it, they're not going to interfere with that because according to them, it must be like that. And so if this was the past, all Christians who grasp this message would wear a patrine or a St. Peter's cross, the upside down one, to show where they stand now. Hopefully that's clear and y'all grasp, Now, to give y'all a little insight on the Apocrypha text. In the Apocrypha text, after Jesus is crucified, Peter sees him. You get it? Meaning there's many appearances of Jesus after being crucified. Many people seen him. Peter sees Jesus maybe a day or two, a week after he got crucified. Peter says to Jesus, "Whither thou goest," basically asking him, where you going? Jesus tells Peter, "I'm going to the next town to get crucified again." I'll say that again. When you're reading the Apocrypha text, after Jesus is crucified and killed, a day, a week, maybe later, Peter sees him. He don't ask him like, "Why? I thought you died." He just asks him like normal, like, "Where you going?" Jesus say, "Yeah, I want to go to the next town, big baby, because I got to go die over there too. Like, I got to go get crucified over there too." Jesus names the town in the text, but I forget the name. Tiberias or something. I forget the name of the city he say he going to get crucified again. Most of y'all will say, "Oh, okay. That makes no sense." It makes perfect sense. You can't kill God. God ain't no man. And God too powerful for any man to do anything to him. Do you get it? You can't kill God. Now this man, he's playing God. So he get killed. But you can't kill God. So, Peter seen Jesus after he got killed, my nigga. Say, "Where you going?" "Go die in the next town." Makes sense now? Of course he ain't dead. You can't kill God. This is just a blasphemy. So I'm going to the next town to embarrass God. Then I'll be going to the next town and the next town. Like that. Jesus saying God. Jesus is just a man That is the representation of the blasphemies against God. Him being a man being the first blasphemy. The beating him up and killing him and all of that. More blasphemies. But overall, you can't kill God. So if a man is playing God, then he can't technically die. So yeah, he would have to like be seen the next day. Do you follow? Meaning none of it's real. It's allegory. Was a man really sacrificed and crucified on the cross for the world to see? Yeah. And then in the next town was another man crucified in that same way, as if he was the first man that was crucified so that town could see? Yeah. Every city had a nigga get sacrificed as Jesus so everybody could see him. It'd have to be that way because God can't die, so you have to see the man again the next day. Now he a real man, so he dead, but we just get another man. You get it? Whoever's this man that's playing like he God, he has to always be. So even if Superman died, that was in the Richard Pryor movie back in the day, it don't matter because now in today's times we got a new Superman character. He's the old Superman. Even though we all could see, man, that's not the nigga that played Superman back in the day when Richard Pryor was in the Superman movie. Like that. Do you follow? It don't matter if the man changed. He God. So he gonna always be. He have to because God can't die. You follow? Meaning y'all don't get it. It's deep. Like I said, $1 million scholarship. Now, I'm going to read John chapter 21, verse 15. This is when Jesus, this is the last Supper. Meaning most of y'all never read the book, so y'all say the Last Supper was the Last Supper. Nah, there was like 5 Last Suppers, my nigga. So I'm about to read y'all the last one. The real last one. This is the one when he reveals to Simon Peter, blood, I know what you did. Even though you didn't show up, I still know what you did. So in chapter 21 of John, you know, there's a part where Jesus look at Peter 3 times. He tell him 3 times, you love me? Peter say, yeah, I love you, Rabbi. He asked him again, you love me? Yeah, I love you, Rabbi. Asked him again. That part. And Peter says, you know all things, Lord. Realize. Oh, shit. Blood keep asking me that because he letting me know now, like, why you gonna really keep sitting here saying, yeah, I love you, like you didn't line me up. You were standing with the woman yourself with the coal of fire, blood. Now you sitting here like nothing happened. So this last supper that I'm about to read, chapter 21 of John, verse 15, this is when the disciples come to know. He knew. He's explaining to them, when he's prophesying to them, I'm going to die and all of that, he's telling them their own works. I'm going to be crucified for the people, blah, 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 blah. He's telling them their own works, what they already got planned. They're taking it like, oh, blood is, he might really be the real thing. They don't have a brain to say, damn, if he know he going to get crucified, well, maybe he know we lining him up too. Again, the apostles know that he is going to be lined up to be killed. They're the ones lining him up, meaning they're bringing him all around to then bring him to the Jews and the Romans at the end to be crucified. They're fully aware of what they're doing. He's prophesying to them, I'm going to die. the way that they have it set up for him to. They don't have a mind to say, if he know that, like how he's gonna die, because we didn't tell him. We already know. We got all this planned out. But somehow he know. If he know how he gonna die, then he must know who lined him up. But they're too dumb to grasp that. So they're at the Last Supper denying, like, no, we wouldn't set you up. Who would? Then he tell Peter, you gonna deny me 3 times. But they're never grasping. Ah, shit, he's telling us, I know y'all set me up and this is y'all doing. They're lost in communication. Like that. So now after he's crucified and they see him, they don't know that he knows. So they're just talking to him and shit. Like, where you going? And you get it? This chapter explains, like, when they found out that he knows, like the right way. Like, oh, he knew the whole time that we did that. He was never in the dark. We was in the dark. It's like you lining somebody up and they're telling you the whole time, you lining me up to die, but you're not grasping what they're saying. You thinking they're prophesying of their end, not realizing, oh, they know that I'm lining them up. They just not saying that part. They probably hoping I say, like, you get it? If I got you lined up to get shot in your head, then I'm bringing you to get shot in your head, and you happen to be like, you know I'm gonna die from a bullet to the head, right? More than likely, I would say, so you know that I'm lining you up. They can do that. They say, he's a glorious prophet. He knows how his own end is gonna come. He don't get it. Like, he know. Y'all supposed to come clean. Like, damn, if you know that, then you know everything. In that, we gonna back up off it. They didn't do that. They didn't ever catch on. So, chapter 21, verse 15. This is the Last Supper. It says, this is verse 13. I just wanted you to see that they're having another Last Supper. Chapter 21 of John, verse 13. Jesus then came and took the bread and gave it to them, and likewise the fish. This is now the 3rd time Jesus shown himself to his disciples after he was raised from the dead. So like I said, after he died, they seen him a bunch of times. But they just talking to him like, like they ain't lining him up. So they don't get it. Now, this is the 3rd time Jesus showed himself to his disciples after he was raised from the dead. So when they had eaten breakfast, Jesus said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonah, do you love me more than these? Basically saying, do you love me more than the rest of the disciples? Simon Peter said, yes, Lord, you know that I love you. He said to him, feed my lambs. Then he said to him again a 2nd time, Simon, son of Jonah, do you love me? He said to him, yes, Lord, you know that I love you. He said to Simon again, tend to my sheep then. You get it? He said to him a 3rd time. Now, if I'm talking to you and I say that shit 3 times in a row, on the 3rd time, you gonna be like, he not asking me if I love him. He fucking with me. He know that part. He said to him the 3rd time, Simon. He didn't call him Peter that time. No, he called him Simon every time. He said, Simon, son of Jonah, do you love me? Peter was grieved that time because he got it. Oh shit, he know. Remember, the apostles don't know that he know they lined him up. So they all grinning in his face after the crucifixion. Not realizing blood know y'all lined him up. His mother and the apostle that he loved showed up. So he but he knew even before that, when he was telling y'all at the first Last Supper, like that. It says, he said to him the third time, Simon, son of Jonah, do you love me? Peter was grieved because he said to him the third time, do you love me? And he said to him, Lord, you know all things. Then he said, you know that I love you. Jesus said to him, feed my sheep. Now here's the deep part. Verse 18 says, most assuredly I say to you, when you were younger, you girded yourself and walked where you wished. But when you are old, you will stretch out your hands, and another will gird you and carry you where you do not wish to go. Meaning when you get old, you ain't going to be able to walk about and go where you want. And people going to take you where they want to take you. Because they got to fend for you, because you old now. This he spoke, signifying by what death he would glorify God. And when he had spoken this, he said to him, follow me. Then Peter, turning around, saw the disciple whom Jesus loved following. Meaning most of y'all think he was talking to Simon still. After he asked Simon 3 times, do you love me? And Simon looked at him every time just like a snake would and said, yeah. He was done with him. He said, tend to my sheep. Then he started talking to the disciple we love. But most will read the text and think he was still speaking to Simon. That's why it says, then Peter, turning around, saw the disciple whom Jesus loved following. Remember, Jesus said, follow me. Meaning he said all I just read and then said, follow me. Then Peter turned, and whoever Jesus was talking to, which was the disciple he loved, was following Jesus. So imagine I'm talking to you, then I'm done with you. I look to somebody else, I start talking to them, and I say, follow me. Then you look at them, and they start coming like towards me, and I'm walking off away from you, like that. Now, then Peter, turning around, saw the disciple whom Jesus loved following, who also had leaned on his breast at supper and said, Lord, this is the one who betrays you. Asking him, Lord, who did it? You get it? That's what it's saying. It says, Peter, seeing him, said to Jesus, but Lord, what about this man? I'll read it again. Chapter 20. Then Peter, turning around, saw the disciple whom Jesus loved following, meaning following Jesus, who also had leaned on his breast, basically saying that same disciple that's following him now, Peter's reflecting, that's the same motherfucker that leaned on his breast at dinner time and asked him, who betrayed you? Which is what they all should have asked him as soon as they seen him not dead. Do you get it? We have a Last Supper. I say one of y'all gonna betray me. I get crucified and die, then I see y'all after that. So the first thing a normal person gonna say, who the fuck lined you up, blood? I'm glad you alive, but who did that? Cause I'ma deal with them. Your mama die. She say they gonna set me up, but she don't tell you who. Then she die, and you see her after that. So you like, my mother not dead. But the first thing you gonna ask her, who the fuck lined you up? Cause I don't care if you're dead or not, they gonna die. This is that other disciple that Jesus loved. Cause that nigga real. He leaned on his breast at the Last Supper and said, who did it? Cause I'ma deal with them, blood. Jesus told him. But Peter didn't hear that part. He's just hearing the other disciples. So the other disciples like, let me read it. Then Peter, turning around, saw the disciple whom Jesus loved following, who had also leaned on his breast at supper and said, Lord, who is the one who betrays you? It already happened, so he's asking him, who did it? But Jesus get crucified every day. So there's a Last Supper every day. Remember, God can't die. So the man that's God can't either. So every day he died and the same shit happened again. So he's asking him in the, like it haven't happened yet. Even though it did, but it's always gonna happen. So he's like, who betrays you? But really asking like, who already betrayed you, but you die every fucking day. And every day you have this Last Supper, so. But we still don't know who did it. He's asking him like that. Leaned on his breast at the supper and said, Lord, who is the one who betrays you? Peter, seeing him, said to Jesus, but Lord, what about this man? In that Peter know, he asked Jesus who betrayed him. I didn't hear the answer Jesus gave him, but Jesus answered him. Because then he asked Jesus, what about this man then? To say like, so what you want to do? I'm putting it into real life terms so y'all can grasp. Blood solid, the one he loved. He like, yo, who betrayed you? Jesus told him, but Peter didn't hear. He can only hear the other disciple. He heard the other disciple after he asked him who betrayed you. He heard him follow that up by, well, what's up? You get it? Well, what about this man? Like, in our terms, well, what we gonna do with him? That. So Peter's knowing like, oh shit. At the Last Supper, Jesus told the one that's following him right now, because Jesus already jumped off Peter. He asked him 3 times, do you love me? The nigga lied 3 times. Done with him. Walked off on him. You a fucking clown. He tells the other disciple, follow me. So I'm making it so you can get it on real time. And Jesus gangster. He's checking Peter's temperature. You still got one more chance. You could be solid, blood. You love me? He still didn't admit like I set you up. He just said, you know all things. And then lied again. But I love you, Lord. He's shameful. Jesus gangster, he tell the other disciple, follow me. Then Peter started reflecting. Oh shit, at the Last Supper, the disciple that's following him now leaned on his breast and asked him who did it. And I didn't hear what Jesus said, but the disciple said like, so what we gonna do to him? So now Peter's shitting on himself. Like, mind you, Jesus and the other disciple just stepped off. He's still standing there like that. He think he dead, nigga. Remember, Jesus ain't pussy. Blood ran in the temple, flipped everything over, told these niggas, y'all selling pussy in the temple when preaching? Remember that verse? This before they killed him. This is the kind of shit that made them not like Jesus. And just talk to niggas in their face, mad brass. And he'll walk in the church house and just flip they pew and shit over. Like, get the fuck out of here with that. So Peter, remember, Peter's gangster. Scared to death of Jesus. He like, this nigga gonna whack me. Remember, Simon Peter cut blood ear off. And not none of them niggas challenged him on it. So Simon Peter ain't somebody you play with. In perspective, he big sure. Blood do what he want. You better watch your mouth. But you see how Jesus talking to him? Like, you love me? He a little nigga. So he's scared now. Like, oh shit. There is one nigga I'm scared of. Jesus. Because blood's ruthless. It said he killed a little boy when he was a little boy. That's written in the Apocrypha text. Jesus killed a little boy and the whole town was like, he did it. And Jesus raised the little boy from the dead and was like, did I kill you? And the boy said no. Most read that and they think like Jesus raised the boy just to prove his innocence. Otherwise they was going to say he did it. But even if Jesus did push him off the roof, once he raised him from the dead, the little boy going to be like, no, you didn't kill me because you going to kill him again. He going to be scared to death. Like, oh shit, I was just dead because you pushed me off the roof, but you brought me back. So whatever you say, I agree. I have to use the restroom, I'm sorry. seconds more should be done. Peace and wisdom, Khan. Hopefully y'all grasping, man. This is important stuff. Like I said, one day I need to come read this book completely through for y'all, but it'll take quite a while. You see, I just read a few passages, but when I start explaining it to you, then it's going to make it long. But you need that part. I mean, most of y'all like, that's the best part, when you explain it in simple terms. I like how we live, but then that make it long. Meaning it'll take me 2 hours. 2 hours? It'll take me an hour just to read one chapter and explain it to you. But however fast it take you to grasp. Well, one day I'm gonna do that, but y'all have to give back that day. Meaning all of y'all will have to give back. You need to pop like 10 grand need to pop up. Between all of y'all giving back like $20 or something. Then I'll have some initiative to do it. And if you say, why are you so worried about money? I'm just grown, and you get my point? I have children and shit like that. I'm not even sure why you're asking me that. But maybe you're a kid, so you don't get it. But I'm working. I explain deep scholarship. I always get paid for my work. I didn't make y'all Christians. The lie is free. Now, to risk myself going up against this lie for you, you need to compensate me in some kind of way. Balance something out. But you get my point? I'm saying that because y'all like to get lost in the money talk. You know, y'all always looking for an angle to slander someone. I'm grown, I have children. And so I'm not sure why you even asking me that. Like, why you concerned with money? That's like you asking me why I'm concerned with my business. I just showed you a bank card. I offered y'all a job early this year. That's why. Because it ain't just me in this life. That's why. Now, next year when I'm hiring, remember what I said about that when I was explaining, you know, my business card. Now, let me finish reading this chapter. Jesus said to him, if I will, Then Peter, turning around, saw the disciple whom Jesus loved following, who also had leaned on his breast at supper and said, Lord, who is the one who betrays you? Peter, seeing him, said to Jesus, but Lord, what about this man? Jesus said to him, if I will that he remain till I come, what is that to you? You follow me. Then this saying went out amongst the brethren, that this disciple would not die. Meaning whoever Jesus was talking to, amongst the other disciples and brethren, they said that Jesus said he not gonna die. They all know they did. You get it? It's revealed to them now that they set Jesus up, that he know. So none of them confused. Peter, none of them. They know we finished. Blood gonna deal with us. But this other disciple he walked off with, he loved him. That's why they keep saying the one he loved. So they taking it like he's basically telling him, you not gonna die, you gonna be with me. Remember, Jesus just got crucified, but he not dead. So they're like, then he gonna be like, Jesus told him to follow him because he gonna make him like him. And now he not gonna die. But we for sure is. We've been lying up to the last supper. Peter could at any moment said, I'll launch you up. But he didn't. He just said like, well, Lord, you know everything. He still don't want to say the words like, I ain't shit, man, I'll launch you up. You get it? So Jesus done with you. You's a bozo, nigga. You follow me. You get it? He's talking to the disciple we love now. You can pull up and follow me. And you can stand right there with your dick in your hand, wondering what we talking about. So now Peter's standing with the rest of the disciples. That's why he told Peter, feed my sheep. You get it? My sheep is my disciples, but they set me up too, so fuck them. and you ain't shit, nigga. So you know what you should do? Feed my sheep, you lying bastard. Meaning do what you do to the rest of them. Line them up, nigga. Feed my sheep. You deal with them. Now, you the one I love. Follow me. I'm making it so you could grasp now. So now they standing there looking stupid. Peter know what Jesus mean too when he say, feed my sheep then. Basically telling him you a fucking snake. You deal with them. Because they just like you. They line me up just like you. You just worse than them. Because you actually walked all the way to the palace. And then you denied me 3 times. They didn't show up. If you familiar with Jesus getting captured, they're supposed to be watching him the evening that the officers are going to capture him. And the disciples are taking their turn to watch over him. You follow? But Jesus woke up and found these niggas sleep. Every time, like, each time one's supposed to be on guard watching Jesus sleep to make sure that nobody come, they sleep. So Jesus wake them up and tell them, yo, you couldn't even stay awake for 2 hours. Meaning Jesus knowing, see, they playing stupid. They lining me up, but they're playing dumb now, like they're making their excuse. Jesus already know all things, so he know they already line me up. The motherfuckers is coming to get me. They're supposed to be pretending to me like they're protecting me, but they're sleeping. In that he know you doing that so when they capture me, you can play dumb. Otherwise, when they pull up, they capture me, you're going to be standing here with your dick in your hand and I'm going to know you locked me up. You get it? So they're playing dumb because they don't want to go through with it. Meaning they lined him up, but they don't want him to see now. They don't want to stand on it. They're too ashamed. This is why when the officers came to capture Jesus, only Peter and the other disciple was there. Where was the rest of them? That part. Nowhere. Judas ran off and hung himself. Judas being the one Jesus made do that. That's why he hung himself. But Peter was always the snake he was talking about. Meaning Jesus knows. Of course, I read the Apocrypha and all the other texts surrounding this, so my understanding is, I don't want you to think I'm just pulling it from nowhere. These things is written in the other texts y'all don't deal with. And I'm just summing everything up to help you grasp. But Jesus told Judas to go tell them what he did so he get the money. You follow? Everybody's lining me up, all my disciples, right? They're lining me up to get captured. They lining me up to get captured by the Roman army. One amongst them, he gullible and stupid, so he don't even know what's going on. This Judas. He's just an ignorant soul. He ain't guilty of nothing really though. He just dumb. He the main one always be attached to me. He won't be like me so bad. But he ain't with them now. You get it? He ain't lining me up. He just gullible. He don't know nothing. You get it? Now I know y'all gonna line me up this evening. They gonna come take me and kill me. So I tell this gullible one, hey, you go down there and you tell them that you know where I'm at. They gonna give you a reward. Take that reward and be well. Judas don't know why he telling him that. So he like, no, I don't want to do that. Jesus ain't telling him blood. They line me up. I'm telling you to go get the bread so you can get something out of it at least, because you ain't in on it. So I'm going to get captured regardless, and they going to whack me regardless, but you the only one that ain't partaking it. So instead of letting me die for free, nigga, go get that bread. They got a ransom, go get it. You get it? He don't tell Judas all that, because then Judas, you get it? Judas all attached to him and shit. He gonna make a mockery right there. In that, he gonna fuck it up. They gonna know that he knows. So he don't want Judas to get himself whacked. Meaning if Judas be like, oh, they gonna lie, they liable to whack him and Jesus right there. So Jesus just telling him like, yo, just line me up, go get that bread. But he not telling him why. So Judas go do what he said. He bring him, kiss Jesus on the cheek. He do everything that Jesus told him to do. And they gave him the money. But then when he see Jesus really get captured and Simon cut the nigga ear off and he like, but this is, you know, if I tell you like, go get the ransom money, so you thinking like, well, Rabbi probably got a plan. In that, you go through with it like, yo, I'm gonna rat him out. He told me to rat him out. I don't want to do it, but he probably got a plan. That's Rabbi, he a genius. In that, you go do it because he told you to. But you're not truly expecting that he would just do that to himself. So when he see it happen and he like, why would he make me betray him like that? Knowing that they gonna capture him, they taking him off now. So he heartbroken, he feel ashamed, like, yo, what the fuck? Go hang yourself. He don't understand, like, why did he make me do that? He's trying to make you good. They gonna capture me anyway and kill me, blood. You might as well, you feel me? Get the bread out of it. Otherwise, they gonna kill you too, blood, if you're not a part of this shit. They all part of it because, yeah, they don't want to end up on the cross with me. That's where you gonna end up. But you go ahead, get that money, blood. Act like you done. Don't worry about it. I know you not. And that, you and your family be good. You could slide off. You're a wealthy man now. Real nigga shit. You get it? Jesus solid. He covering everything. The rest of the disciples, when the officers pull up, they done already cut out. You follow? They can't go through with it because when the officers pull up now, Jesus gonna know, oh, y'all fuck me. So instead of them standing there when he come to that realization, they just cut out. And that he know because they supposed to be watching his back, but they was acting like they kept falling asleep. So you get it? They lining it up so they could play dumb all around the board. First they acting like they sleep so that when he get captured, they could play dumb and don't have to face him. Then I guess they like, he woke us up and cursed us out. Let's just leave. Fuck it. And that, when the officers come, none of them around. They already abandoned. They went through with what they was supposed to, which is for Jesus to get captured, but they didn't stand on it. To where he could look them in the eyes and see like, damn, everybody fucked me over. That was the point. He was supposed to see like, nigga, you never stood a chance. Everybody lined you up, nigga. It started with John the Baptist, the nigga that baptized you and said you was God. He put his burden on you. He was supposed to be up on that cross and the example why niggas better be a Christian. Not you. Like that. But they all cut out. Except for Peter and the other disciple. Now Peter's such a snake. You get it? He don't want Jesus to know like he ratted him out like that and lined him up. So you get it? Think like if you set me up, you know they coming to get me, but you trouble. You like, you get it? When they pull up now, I'm supposed to admit to Jesus like, yeah, we got you. Meaning when they pull up, the disciples ain't supposed to interfere. They just gonna snatch him. In that, he's gonna know like, damn, they fucked me over. But they didn't even stick around for that. They like, nah, I can't face him. We lined him up, that's enough, I'm out. Peter, gangster, he say, nah, I'ma stay in. But I guess when he see them coming, he like, nah, I don't feel, you get it? Jesus gonna be looking at me crazy, my nigga. I don't think I can take the look. You know how some dudes rat on their whole drug team and then when it's time to get on the stands, they just break down. You get it? Start crying and shit because they feel like, damn, I'm weak. I sold them out. I know what I did, but I don't really want to stand on it all the way like this. I don't want everybody to see me like a snake and a rat. That Peter's losing his nerve now. So when they pull up and grab Jesus, he cut one of their ear off, because you get it, he a little mad, he a fucking bozo. And on top of that, he don't want Jesus to know. That's why they was playing dumb like they was falling asleep and shit, because they don't want him, they don't want to face him when they snatch him up. When they snatch him up, you get it? Peter follows, meaning he's still going along with it. I guess the other disciple, remember Jesus told him, put your sword up, basically letting him know you ain't got no wins here, blood. It's more than just, it is what it is. The other disciple probably like, come on, we gonna go see this shit through. Fuck, the rest of them disappeared, but we gonna finish this off. I'll give you give me a second, So now that taking Jesus off, Peter and the other disciple is following. You follow? When Peter goes inside and warms himself with the dudes that just captured Jesus, Jesus seeing, but it still ain't necessarily clear. So maybe Peter's just following to keep his eye open, waiting for a moment to help me. Now that next day when they throw Jesus on that cross and he looking down at Peter and all his disciples, he would know. They lined me up, because who the fuck would show up for this? You my mama, you my brother, you my peoples. They got me captured. They about to kill me, my nigga, and make a mockery of me. Spitting on me and shit. You as my mother, family member, brother, whatever, you would show up to see that? No. Most people will be like, I'm against that, blood. I got a real fucking problem, and hell no, I'm not going to look at that. What I look like? Why the fuck I want to see my own kid hanging up there like that? Just sitting there. That part. Mary was standing right there, right next to his cross, just looking at him. Jesus told her, woman, behold your son. This was the other disciple. None of the other ones was there. Meaning Jesus know, like, damn, my mom's lining me up. Everybody, she just standing there. That's why I say you don't think it's strange that a mother standing right by her son getting killed and beat up and do nothing. She just chilling. Sad a little bit, but for the most part, apart. She won with the Jews too. Remember, they already had this plan before Jesus was born. You get it? They picked her. Meaning, when you're reading how the messenger or the angel, which means messenger, came and told her like you want pregnant by the Holy Ghost or whatever, is basically letting her know, you get it? You gonna have this kid and we gonna kill that shit. But you know, it's gonna get killed as if it was God, so like everybody could believe that we the Jews are the people of God and they will follow our religion. And then we control the world like the Romans do. So this is one of those type of things. This is why it says when Mary had Jesus, then she fled. Why is she fleeing for? Remember, the book say the angels came and told her she had the Son of God in her. But then when she about to have the baby, she starts fleeing. Why? You say because King Herod was going to kill him. Cool. Why you flee though? Because it's like I said, she already knew they was going to kill him. But then she didn't want to go through with it. You get it? That's why in the book, when I read that verse where it says, Caiaphas said it's expedient that one man must die for the people. And y'all already got him, so he will just have to do it. It's been planned before he was born. John was supposed to get it. Probably somebody before John, and they like, we got to do this. You get it? Y'all keep like letting the one pass it off on the other. That. This happening with John before Mary even pregnant. Remember, John just say, it's not me, the one who is have not even come yet. He's coming. Now, you gonna have the boy, he gonna die. But like any mother, you agree to the shit, maybe they paid her or whatever, And then you get it? When she had a boy, now she changed her fucking mind. But you can't do that. Now they seeking her out to get the boy. What are you doing? You got other kids? What the hell is wrong with you? We already told you he gonna die. You get it? Like that. So she lined him up like everybody. Now, when he got crucified, they was all supposed to be there, and that he would know they lined him up, but they chickened out of it. They couldn't go through with it. And Peter chickened out, right before the crucifixion, meaning he didn't show up to the crucifixion, but he was there all the way to the last moments. And that the disciples or apostles don't know that Jesus know they lined him up, meaning they never stood on it. And that they don't know we know. So now when he resurrect, or they see him after he was killed, because the book never say he resurrected. The book say Mary went to the grave and she seen he was missing, and she said like they took him. And I don't know where he at. She didn't say he rose from the dead. She said somebody took his body and I don't know who did and where they took him. Then the disciples ran off talking about he risen from the dead. But they lined him up to get it. They going along with blood supposed to be God. He gonna get beat up and killed and blasphemed, and this the religion, and you get it. So they just carrying on with the rest of the plan now. Basically, after he died, now we gonna spread that he raised up again and he really God, and they're a part of the people believing in this religion, which is a blasphemy against God. So after he's killed, then they just carry on finishing off the religious aspect, but they never showed up to the crucifixion or let it be known that they lined him up to him. That's why the Jews whacked all of them. You follow? All the disciples got killed, even Peter. Why? Because they didn't go through with it. Y'all didn't show up and stand on this shit like everybody else. It don't mention what happened to Mary Magdalene and that other disciple. Now, I'm reading chapter 21, verse 20, where it says, Then Peter, turning around, saw the disciple whom Jesus loved following. That's the disciple that never get named. So when Peter and the other disciple was following Jesus, when they captured him, you notice how this that one disciple, they never named him. Like that. Now Jesus is talking to this other disciple who leaned on his breast and said, who did it, blah, blah, blah. But they never say who that is. Which disciple is the one that he loved that y'all never saying which one it is? That. Now, watch this. Then Peter, turning around, saw the disciple whom Jesus loved following. Remember, Mary was standing next to Jesus' cross. The disciple he loved it says Mary's sister and Mary Magdalene. But them all just Mary. So the only person was standing next to Jesus' cross was Mary and the other disciple. Let me find that verse so y'all can grasp. John chapter 19, verse 25. They already got him hung up on the cross. It says, Now there stood by the cross of Jesus his mother and his mother's sister, Mary, the wife of Clopas, and Mary Magdalene. Most people reading that, they take it as next to his cross was Jesus' mother, her sister, Mary, the wife of Clopas, and Mary Magdalene, but it's not saying that. It's saying Mary, his mother, is Mary, the wife of Clopas, and Mary Magdalene. Again, now there stood by the cross of Jesus his mother, but it never said who she was, and his mother's sister. Now it commences to tell you who his mother and this sister is. So technically they're saying Mary, the wife of Clopas, and Mary Magdalene, meaning one of them would be the sister and the other would be Mary the mother, meaning Mary Magdalene would be Jesus' mother, and Mary, the wife of Clopas, would be the sister. But truly they're both married, and they never go into who the sister is. You get it? So it says, now there stood by the cross of Jesus his mother and his mother's sister, Mary, the wife of Clopas, and Mary Magdalene, period. Basically letting you know, Mary, Jesus' mother is Mary, the wife of Clopas, and Mary Magdalene. And standing with her is her sister. Just two people. Well, the disciples there too. When Jesus therefore saw his mother and the disciple whom he loved standing by, it didn't say, when Jesus therefore saw his mother, her sister, Mary Magdalene, Mary Clopas' wife, and the disciple. It didn't say that. It said, now when Jesus therefore saw who was standing in his cross, which was just two people, his mother Mary and the disciple that he loved. Meaning, the disciple that he loved is either Mary's sister, or they're either saying that Mary is Jesus' sister and his mother, and her name is Mary Magdalene, and she is Mary, the wife of Clopas, the wife of Joseph, and a bunch of other niggas, because she got kids by different people. That's why they say the whore of Babylon. You get it? The virgin mother. Well, that's speaking of something different, but Mary's like the personification of that. But try to grasp. This is why Jesus, it says, when Jesus therefore saw his mother and the disciple whom he loved standing by, he said to his mother, woman, behold your son. Then he said to the disciple, behold your mother. And from that hour, that disciple took her to his own home. After this, Jesus, knowing that all things were now accomplished, that the scripture might be fulfilled, said, I thirst. You know how gangster that is? They got you hung up on the cross, blood. You look at your mama, is that line you up? And you say, I'm thirsty. Blood, there you go. I'm going to read that again. That's the deepest part. Nigga looked at his mama and they basically tell him, behold him, y'all some sellouts. Then he looked at the crowd, he said, I'm thirsty. I'm parched. Blood hanging on a cross, half dead. You know how fucking real you got to be? To be like, I'm about to die in the next 2 seconds. Thirst. That's like, I'm about to die, you watching me, and my last words is, I sure could go for some pussy. Like, damn, that blood was cold-blooded. He wants something to drink, he about to die. Basically, he rubbing it in their face. Fuck y'all. Or kiss my ass, nigga, I'm gangster. Like that. Now, it says, now there stood by the cross of Jesus his mother and his mother's sister, Mary the wife of Clopas and Mary Magdalene. When Jesus therefore saw his mother and the disciple whom he loved standing by, he said to his mother, woman, behold your son. Then he said to the disciple, behold your mother. And from that hour that disciple took her to his own home. Basically, he told them, Go. You get it? I'm up here. I feel it. I'm about to die. Y'all can slide. You don't need to stick around for this. Say stick around for what? My last moment when I asked these niggas to give me something to drink, blood, because I'm gangster like that. You don't need to see that. You don't need to see my ego. You get it? I ain't never given up nothing. Blood had pride and ego till the last breath. You get it? He never let them see him sweat. He don't give a fuck. I'm never giving you that. The last moment I die, you still gonna have a mind like, man, Blood don't seem like he never truly suffered. He was talking regular and shit, talking about, can I get something to drink? You got a nigga on the cross, he asks you, can I get something to drink? Like that. This shit cold-blooded. But before that, he tell his mama, yeah, y'all going and slide on out of here. The fuck y'all standing here for? Then he said to the disciple, behold your mother. And from that hour that disciple took her to his own home. After this, Jesus, knowing that all things were now accomplished, that the scriptures might be fulfilled, said, I thirst. Now a vessel full of sour wine was sitting there, and they filled a sponge with sour wine, put it on a hyssop, and put it to his mouth. So when Jesus had received the sour wine, he said, it's finished, and bowed his head. Blood took the drink and said, I'm good now, and died. You know how cold-blooded that is? Y'all ain't going out like that. That's like, you don't know nobody that real. Nobody know nobody that real. Blood told his moms and his bro, y'all can cut out, because I'm about to die now. But before I die, I need something to drink. Took the drink, or they gave him the drink. He drinks the shit and looks at everybody and say, okay, it's finished now, I'm good. And just died. Tell me that ain't gangster. Like I said, I don't know nobody that real. Now, after this, Jesus, knowing that all things were now accomplished, that the scriptures might be fulfilled, said, I thirst. Now a vessel full of sour wine was sitting there. They filled a sponge with sour wine, put it on a hyssop, and put it to his mouth. So when Jesus had received the sour wine, he said, it is finished, and bowing his head, he gave up his spirit. Therefore, because it was the preparation day, that the body should not remain on the cross on the Sabbath, for the Sabbath was a high day, meaning the sun about to set, it's Friday evening. So in that, you're supposed to leave it there. Or you're supposed to take it down. Let me see. Yeah, you're supposed to take it down for the sunset, because on the Sabbath, you feel me? All that killing and death shit, you ain't supposed to be doing that on the Sabbath. That the body should not remain on a cross on the Sabbath, for the Sabbath was a high day. The Jews asked Pilate that their legs might be broken and that they might be taken away. Then the soldiers came and broke the legs of the first and of the other two, who was crucified with Jesus. But when they came to Jesus and saw that he was already dead, meaning usually they crucify you if you ain't dead before the Sabbath. Let's say I hang you up there Friday morning, Friday evening coming, you ain't died on. So I want to leave you up there so you die, but it's the Sabbath, blood, so now I got to take you down. You might run away, so they break your legs and your arms, because you're going to get re-crucified after the Sabbath. When they went to Jesus to break his legs, they like, oh, he dead already. He ain't running nowhere. Meaning he didn't make it. You follow? But when they came to Jesus and saw that he was already dead, they did not break his legs. They just took him off it. You don't need to break his legs. He ain't running nowhere. But when they came to Jesus and saw that he was already dead, they did not break his legs. But one of the soldiers pierced his side with a spear, and immediately blood and water came out. And he who has seen has testified, and his testimony is true. And he knows that he is telling the truth so that you may believe. For these things were done that the scriptures should be fulfilled. Not one of his bones shall be broken. You get it? It's basically saying all you seen happen is so the scripture. Somebody amongst the Jews got to die. Like that. It have to be fulfilled. Don't break his legs or none of that. Like that. It got to be perfect. Now, I read that so you could see, like, Mary and all of them set him up. Even the disciple whom he loved. Remember, he was there standing by the cross, meaning he actually seen it through. All the disciples flaked up except for Mary and the disciple whom he loved. The disciple whom he loved, this being the one that's never named, this the one that walked with Peter. Say Peter and the disciple who was not named followed Jesus in the offices. Now, when you go to 21, and it says, then Peter, turning around, saw the disciple whom Jesus loved following. This is the one that leaned on Jesus' breast and was like, who did it? And what we going to do to him? Like that. Jesus said to him, after he asked him, so what about this man? What we going to do with him? Now I'm back on chapter 21 because I'm about to tell y'all who is the disciple that Jesus loved, but they don't never say his name. Jesus said to him, meaning after he asked him, what about, what we going to do with him? Jesus said to him, if I will that he remain till I come, what is that to you? Basically saying, if I let him live and don't kill him now, and let him live till I come back. Remember, Jesus is supposed to die and come back. So he's telling the disciple that asked him, so what we going to do with him? He's saying, like, if I let him just live till I come back, you know, instead of killing him now, just let him live till I come back. Why you care? Follow me. Meaning, I die and then I come back. You don't gotta stick around worrying about what happened to that nigga blood. You could just follow me and go wherever I'm going. And when I come back, you with me. What you care about? You get it? Basically saying, what does it matter what's going to happen to Peter? Because you coming with me. Wherever it is that I go after this crucifixion and die and then return, you get to come with me. And if they die today, tomorrow, or whenever, why you even care? You get to come follow me. Like that. Then this saying went out amongst the brethren that this disciple would not die. Yet Jesus did not say to him that he would not die. But if I will that he remain till I come, what is that to you? Meaning Jesus told him that. But they runs off and say, Jesus said that the disciple whom he loved ain't gonna die. You see how they are? Like that. This is the disciple who testifies of these things and wrote these things. And we know that his testimony is true. Now, what book am I reading from? John. I'll read it again. Then Jesus said to him, if I will, he's speaking, I'll just read the whole thing. Chapter 21, verse 20. Then Peter, turning around, saw the disciple whom Jesus loved following him, who also had leaned on his breast at supper and said, Lord, who is the one who betrays you? Peter, seeing him, said to Jesus, but Lord, what about this man? Meaning he got the answer and then asked him, so what are we going to do with him? Jesus said to him, if I will that he remain till I come, what is that to you? You follow me. Then this saying went out amongst the brethren that this disciple would not die, meaning the one whom he loved won't die. But Jesus didn't say that. He said, If I will that he remain till I come, what is that to you? This is the disciple who testifies of these things and wrote these things. And we know that his testimony is true. It's letting you know, if you wondering, who's this disciple whom Jesus loved that he never saying his name? The one who wrote these things that you're reading. Say, who wrote this book? This is the book of John. Not John the Baptist, but the book of John. And there are also many other things that Jesus did, which if they were written one by one, I suppose that even the world itself could not contain the books that would be written. It's saying if everything was documented that Jesus did, the world ain't big enough to house all those papers. That's how much shit he did. If they write everything he did, it would take up all the space in earth. So you figure he did so much shit, blood, you don't even need to like ever try to compare. And so overall, Jesus is going from city to city to die. This man being a blasphemy against God. You get it? God not a man, God being something you can't die. Christianity is spreading this blasphemy that God is a man that get beat up and spit on. You follow? Like that. And that, this man gotta get crucified, resurrect, and then go get crucified again and resurrect, because God can't die. So even though he a man pretending like he God, so do you get it? And that, he can't technically die. We got to make sure he keep coming back. That's why when Peter seen Jesus, he said, man, whither thou goest? After Jesus got crucified, Peter seeked him and said, whither thou goest? And Jesus told him, I'm going to the next town to get crucified again. You can look that up in the Apocrypha text. Shit, Google whither thou goest verse. Simon Peter, whither thou goest, Apocrypha verse or something. So you can read it for yourself, the part where Jesus say like, I'm going to get crucified again. And that most people read it and say, this don't make no sense. How he get crucified, raised from the dead, and now he's going to get crucified again. Because he's playing the role of God. God can't die because that's God. Being as though he's a man playing the role of God, so can't die. It wouldn't make no sense. But he not God. He is a blasphemy against God, because God ain't a man that you can spit on and beat up. And so all Christians believe in this blasphemy, that God is some lesser thing that's going to die for them because they greater. Says that God going to die for my sins. This is the pinnacles of one having ego. God going to die for you? Why? Who you? Like that. Christians do not know what they say. You get it? Or what they do. They just lost in the world. They just follow. So if you a Christian, take heed, you know, to what I just said. Now, I'm parched, famished. I'm departing.